Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Nick with the Bridge Group. Today we're going to go over the most recently released numbers from HAR for the Houston housing market in June of 2020. Let's take a look. So every single month I get asked the question, how is the market? That's exactly why a video like this exists. Now, whether you may or may not know this, housing is actually tracked 30 months behind, so there's a little bit of a delay. So we're actually looking at June's numbers, even though it is currently July. So let's take a look at these numbers and see what it tells us. So despite everything going on, both in the energy industry, especially here in Houston, and with everything going on with the pandemic, total single family home sales actually rose 15.7% versus this same time last year, which is a really strong rebound from the last couple months, which were not as good as they typically are. And year-to-date sales are actually on par with 2019's pace, even though they were lagging behind in the last couple months. And sticking with single-family homes, the average price only dipped just below 1%, so very little change there. And sales of all home types actually rose 18.3% versus this same time last year as well. Now, housing inventory, which is one of the ways that we measure how many homes are available on the market, it's one of the ways that we measure the health of the market, whether it's a seller or a buyer's market, currently right now is hovering around 3.2 months of supply, which is definitely down from where it was this same time last year. Typically at this point in the year, we'd probably be in the 4 or 5 months worth of inventory. So there is still a very low amount of inventory, and that can mean two things. For sellers, it's a great thing because there's not enough competition on the market for your house. So there's less homes available to pick from. Therefore, it's usually considered more of a seller's market. Now, from the buyer's perspective, obviously there's still historically low interest rates, so it's still a great time to be a buyer, but that does mean as a buyer, you're probably going to enter into more multiple offer situations because there's a lot of other buyers and not enough homes to pick from, or not enough homes to go around, I should say. So because of that days on market being low, it's a great time to be a seller. It can still be a great time to be a buyer because of the low interest rates. You just have to know what you're getting into this time of year. Now, this time last year, days on market, which tells us about how long it takes to sell homes, was at about 50 days on market. That did rise a little bit to 56, but the average for last year hovered around 52, 54 days. So we're really still kind of in that same range. There's really not much difference there as far as days on market is concerned. So for all my investors out there, let's take a look at how all of this is affecting you and rental properties. Single family leases have actually surged 15.3% year over year, which is great news if you're an investor and you have properties to rent out. People are definitely looking for properties to rent. So with regards to the average monthly rent, it did dip by 1%, so it's right around that $1,900 mark, but that's very little change versus the same time last year, so it's really not a cause for concern. So in summary, total home sales are up, the average single family price is relatively unchanged, as well as days on market, and housing inventory continues to be low. This means it's a great time to be a seller, so you've been thinking about putting your house up on the market. You're gonna need an agent who knows how to price it well, who knows how to capitalize on this situation to ensure that you make the most amount of money and in the least amount of time as possible. If you're a buyer, it's still a great time to buy. You're getting crazy historic interest rates, which is awesome. Just be aware that you might be entering into multiple offer situations. That's where having an agent who knows what they're doing, who knows how to negotiate on your behalf to get you the best deal possible, is going to come in handy and is gonna be clutch for you. So thank you guys for watching this video to the very end. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below, click the little bell to make sure that you get notified. I put out new content every single week. I really look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. We'll see you soon.